All right, welcome back. Third installment, starting on number 13, and see how many we can get done in the 5-minute time frame. So if you look at number 1, it says which of the following is linear. So you have a bunch of expressions here, and basically only one of them is linear. So right here, the y equals mx plus b, y equals, here's b, here's m. It's right off the bat, this is linear. The others aren't linear because they're going to be exponential growth. They have exponents in them. 2x times x will have a squared, so it's no longer linear. Which of the following is linear? So this says the data is linear. What is the slope of the line? So again, you got to make sure you're counting by ones, which in this case you are. So you're just looking for the slope. 4 to 7 is plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. That's the slope. Now the y-intercept's a little tricky because it's not where you begin. It's when x is 0. That's where you actually begin, when x is 0. So if you're counting by 3s, that means this is 1, right? If you go backwards 3, you get to 1, and that's the y-intercept. So now you have an equation where the slope is 3x plus 1. So you're looking for 3x plus 1 as your equation, so that's C. Okay, we're done with that. Now this is just basically plug in what we know to find out what we don't. So we're trying to find y. We know x is 3. So let's just do some math. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 10 is 2, and that's C. If I'm going too fast, remember you could always rewind. All right, in this particular problem here, you have 2 points. So you have to remember the formula, point-slope formula. Another thing you could do is plug and check. So I could do both of them for you. If you did the point-slope formula, basically what you could do is you could do y minus y. So I'm going to take the bigger number minus the smaller number. So I'm going to do 33 minus 13. It doesn't matter which way I do it as long as I'm consistent. 33 minus 13 on the top, and then 6 minus 2 on the bottom. I get 20 over 4, and that reduces to 5. So there's my slope of 5, and you can see that here and here. So I'm eliminating that. Now the problem is I don't know what the y-intercept is in this case. So what I want to do is I want to write the equation y equals mx plus b and plug in what I know to find out what I don't. Now, in this case, I have 2 points, so I'm just going to use this point. This is x and this is y, and I'm going to plug in what I know into this formula. So the slope was 5, x is 2, plus b equals, and y is 13. That's going to go here. Notice I just did it linear, so up and down. Okay, so this is 10 plus b equals 13. So in your head, you say, what plus 10 equals 13? Well, that's 3. So now you know the y-intercept is 3, which is here, which is why that's D. Real quick, if I wanted to just plug and chug, I would say, what if I just put this in here? 5 times 2, that's x, is 10. 10 plus 3, does that equal 13? Yes. This one works. Watch this. If I do 5 times 2 is 10, plus 5, does that equal 13? No, so you could eliminate that. You could skip doing all of this work by just simply plugging in this point into the equations that they gave you, and it's a little bit less work. All right, the next problem says simplify the equation. So basically, you just type that into a calculator. If you type that into the calculator, you end up getting B as your answer. So you just got to be careful, make sure that you have 6 places, so there would be 3 zeros. You just basically type that all in, and I'm not going to do that for you. All right, let's see if we can keep going here. All right, so this says the demand model for a certain product is given below, where P represents the price of the product. That's price. That's the slope. Y represents the number of units in demand. Okay, and here, that's where you begin. So basically, you are starting with 4,500, whatever, of the product, okay? So they want you to interpret slope, this number right here. So you want to keep in mind that there's a negative attached to that 450. So it's negative 450 times P. So that would be like negative 450 times 1 would take that away from your initial starting point. And then times 2, you would be decreasing as you go. And as you decrease, you're getting less and less and less. So as the value or the P goes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As that goes up, you're multiplying that by negative 450. That decreases your value by 450 units. You notice that's the slope. So here you are, it's either A or B. This is the y-intercept. So they're expecting you to say, if you don't know what slope is, if you didn't know this was the slope, they'd expect you to guess C and D, right? You should know that slope is next to the P, next to the variable, and this is the initial. So now that you know that slope, you just got to decide, is it decreasing with the negative? Yes, it's decreasing by 450 because of that negative. Increasing, that would have been a positive. All right, I know we're getting a little lengthy. Let's get 21 done here. So basically, the bottom line for 21, we just got to see the slope. So remember, this is 30, but really 30,000. So 30,000, right? So, but we're going up 1,000 from 30 to 31,000. That's going up 1,000, right? 30,000 to 31,000 is up 1, and then over 510. So now we're finding the rate because it tells us to find the slope, that's rate. So 1,000 divided by 10 is 100. So I'm looking at the two problems that include 100, this one, and we found for every 1 unit sold. So C is our best choice.